welcome back to my YouTube channel. Many thanks to all my new subscribers. I'm glad you decided to join the family. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly support this channel by subscribing. Many thanks in advance. About 17 years ago, I fell into a predator's trap. I was emotionally abused and lived in fear for some years. Over time, I've been able to analyze my experience and other people's experiences as well, and draw lessons from them. I see different versions of this trap happening in the world today, and I want to share some insights with you. Hopefully, it will help someone caught in the fear of man. What is the fear of man? Whoever you may be, the fear of man has its hooks in all of us and manifests in many different ways, such as the need for acceptance, the need for approval or fear of disapproval, peer pressure, fear of criticism, and the need for honor. The fear of man can lead us to stay in abusive relationships, become timid when we should be bold, be disobedient to God, have poor self-confidence, judge our self-worth by other people, be inactive, not be ourselves, be indecisive. The fear of man is crippling. It is a dangerous trap. It can lead to addiction, murder, all sorts of vices, and it can actually become a form of slavery. Fear is the main reason why people being abused do not leave. I watched the documentary of R. Kelly's abuse, and one girl in particular stood out to me. Jocelyn Savage. She is currently estranged from her loving parents and amidst clearing evidence would not admit to being abused. Latoya Jackson transformed from a gentle, well-mannered woman to a woman without scruples or values while she lived with her emotionally abusive husband, turning against her family and speaking ill of them till she was able to escape after 8 years. I've watched documentaries of kidnapped victims who ran back to their captors after being rescued by police. Why? Because their minds have been trapped in the fear of man. Proverbs 29 verse 25 says, "Fearing people is a dangerous trap, but trusting the Lord means safety." To start with, let's go over the predator's profile. Emotional predators can show up in any type of relationship, romances, friendships, or in the workplace. They hide behind charming and deceptive facades to use others to get what they want. They want power. They need to feel dominant, to be in control, and use a variety of tactics to gratify their drive for power. The emotional influence starts small, then gets larger and larger until they want to know the deepest, darkest secrets of your soul. Emotional predators claim to be the victim, usually of the person they're in fact victimizing. They fake sincerity and make emotional displays to influence, intimidate, charm, disarm, or seduce others. They pretend to be innocent and ignorant. They trap others in knowing binds, where the other person is damned if they do and damned if they don't. They are frequent and compulsive liars. They provoke others to act out of character. They isolate their targets, gaslighting them, eliciting in the targets unmerited guilt and doubt about their own sanity. They create havoc, confusion, and chaos, and disrupt other people's natural rhythms. They might lure you in with that feeling of being in on the inner cycle of trust, somewhere important and special. They will say and do anything to get what they want, reversing themselves later if they think that serves them. In fact, they are hypocrites. They shift the topic when you try to talk about anything they don't want to address. They relentlessly manage their public image, often by omitting relevant facts, thereby lying by omission. Next, let's examine the profile of the victims that predators select. They target people with hurtful past experiences. When they discover a victim's need, they will play the grand provider for it. For example, if you tell a predator that you lacked parental support while growing up, they will present themselves as highly supportive. To ensure a constant supply of praise, attention, and admiration, a predator typically searches for a victim who has a great deal of empathy. They target people with absolute loyalty and devotion. They target people with low self-esteem. They target gullible people. God will not leave you without warning signs when something bad is about to happen. You may get a sign in a dream or see physical signs, but you have to be discerning. Watch out for those characteristics I mentioned earlier. Don't reason them out. Act on those signs, even if the person you are being warned against is a pastor. Because unfortunately, predators can be anywhere. Run fast. If you don't, your journey begins down the rabbit hole. The first thing your predator will do is to relocate you from familiar grounds. Next is the isolation from family and friends. He'll convince you that your family isn't caring enough and wouldn't care for you the way he would. He would take up the role of a mentor and further isolate you from home. You will find yourself spending less and less time with your family. It will start softly, gradually, and like someone hypnotized, you would fall into the trap. Once you're in, getting out becomes almost impossible. The predator gets evidence that he can use against you, and that's it. Gradually, you begin to notice the anger tantrums, the manipulation, and when you question anything, you are made to believe it's your fault, and you begin to question your sanity. His words gradually break down your defenses till he completely takes over your life and decisions. He monitors your every move and you can't seem to get out of his sight. He makes you do things you won't do and you can't refuse. You're told not to tell anyone what is happening. If not, he will tell them it was your fault and shift the blame on you. And he will assure you that no one will believe you. This is probably true. No one might believe you because predators look calm, charming, kind, and besides might occupy a high-standing position in society. And you wonder, who are you compared with all those credentials to have people believe you? You become completely immobilized by fear. You become quite good at making excuses and covering up the evidence of your abuse. He'll probably befriend your loved ones and assure them that all is well, that he's just being a knight in shining armor, taking care of you. He'll convince you that your life would have been worse off without his influence. And you will thankfully appreciate his efforts, even though he's stealing from you. If one of your strongest traits is loyalty, you become loyal to your predator and become a slave to his desires. As the years go by, you begin to realize that you can't have what you want while in this situation. And you become a shadow of yourself. You withdraw from friends. The deeper you get into the rabbit hole, the deeper the oppression and the higher the walls you put up. No one understands what you're passing through. You would smile and make like everything is okay, but you're dying inside. You might even consider ending your life. You sign off your will to your oppressor. He might even try to convince you to take an oath with him. You may use your body, intellect, and finances to service the needs of your oppressor. you'll end up losing your dignity, self-respect, and the presence of God. Fear wouldn't let you sleep well, and you start to have health issues, which might affect your work life. Isaiah 51 verse 12 says, I, yes I, am the one who comforts you. Who are you that you are so afraid of humans who will die, descendants of mere men who have been made like grass? To be set free, you need to face your fears and admit to yourself the reality of your situation. Start building an inner resolve to overcome. Know that you need to do most of the work because by now, you've probably cut off close ties. You may need divine intervention because your predator probably has access to too many things. In the midst of your abuse, guilt will keep you from praying. You may feel like God wouldn't listen, but how wrong you are. Find your way back to the foot of the cross and start praying in your closet. You may not be allowed to go for programs where you will get the spiritual help you need, but build intimacy with God and He will answer you. It may not happen immediately, but you would gradually see the effect of those prayers. Nothing is hidden from predators. They would intimidate you and threaten to expose you with all the evidence they have been gathering over the years. But what if the truth does come out? Yes, people will talk about it for a while, but they'll forget eventually. Get over yourself. People are too preoccupied with their own challenges to focus solely on you. Be strong. God is ever faithful. He will make a way out and heal you. The best thing is not to fall into the trap of predators in the first place. Jeremiah 17:9-10 says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I test the mind, even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doings. Only God can know the heart of man. Let Him guide you into fruitful relationships. 1 John 4 verse 1 says, friends, do not believe every spirit, but test the spirits to see whether they are from God, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. Be discerning. Test every spirit. James 1 verse 5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Be wise. Don't be gullible. If you lack wisdom, ask for it. Watch for the signs. Don't ignore them. Flee from any sort of isolation. Build inner strength and strong faith on God's power to meet your needs. Finally, how can you overcome the fear of man? First of all, acknowledge that you have the fear of man. Repent and ask God for forgiveness. Know that you cannot fulfill life's purpose living in that fear, and seek the face of God. It doesn't matter how long you've been there. Ask for grace to run. You need to run, and run as fast as you can. Know that ultimately, it's not what people think of you, but what God thinks of you that matters. Finally, the only way to overcome the fear of man is to replace that fear with the fear of God. If your loved one is trapped in this situation, don't judge them. Lovingly win them back. Pray for them. Provide a safe haven that they can come back to. Don't push them to talk about the abuse till they are ready to. Anything other than the above will further alienate them from you. Thanks for watching, guys. Kindly subscribe and see you in my next video. Bye.